Then Wallace's friend asks, "Fine speech, but what do we do?" "Just be yourselves." "Where are you going?" "I'm going to pick a fight." Finally, someone is going to stand up to the English tyrants. While the nobles jockey for position, Wallace rides out and interrupts the parley. He picks a fight with the English overlords and the Battle of Stirling ensues, a battle that begins the liberation of Scotland. Now, is Jesus more like Mother Teresa or William Wallace? The answer is, it depends. If you're a leper, an outcast, a pariah of society, whom no one has ever touched because you are unclean, if all you have ever longed for is just one kind word, then Christ is the incarnation of tender mercy. He reaches out and touches you. On the other hand, if you're a Pharisee, one of those self-appointed doctor and police, watch out. On more than one occasion, Jesus picks a fight with those notorious hypocrites. Take the story of the crippled woman in Luke 13. Here's the background. The Pharisees are like the Scottish nobles. They too load heavy burdens on the backs of God's people, but do not lift a finger to help them. What is more, they are so bound to the law that they insist it is a sin to heal someone on the Sabbath, for that would be doing work. They have twisted God's intentions so badly they think that man was made for the Sabbath rather than the Sabbath for man. Mark 2:27. Christ has already had a number of skirmishes with them, some over this very issue, leaving those quislings wild at rage. Luke 6:11 NLT. Does Jesus tiptoe around the issue next time so as not to rock the boat? The preference of so many of our leaders today. Does he drop the subject in order to preserve church unity? Nope. He walks right into it. He baits them. He picks a fight. Let's pick up the story there. One Sabbath day, as Jesus was teaching in the synagogue, he saw a woman who had been crippled by an evil spirit. She had been bent double for 18 years and was unable to stand up straight. When Jesus saw her, he called her over and said, "Woman, you are healed of your sickness." Then he touched her, and instantly she could stand straight. How she praised and thanked the God! But the leader in charge of the synagogue was indignant that Jesus had healed her on the Sabbath day. "There are 6 days of the week for working," he said to the crowd. "Come on those days to be healed, not on the Sabbath." Luke 13:10-14. Can you believe this guy? What a weasel. Talk about completely missing the point. Christ is furious. But the Lord replied, "You hypocrite! You work on the Sabbath day. Don't you untie your ox or your donkey from their stalls on the Sabbath and lead them to the water? Wasn't it necessary for me, even on the Sabbath day, to free this dear woman from the bondage in which Satan has held her for 18 years? This shamed his enemies, and all the people rejoiced at the wonderful things he did. Luke 13:15-17. A battle to fight. Christ draws the enemy out, exposes him for what he is, and shames him in front of everyone. The Lord is a gentleman, not a fear in the service of his enemy. God has a battle to fight, and the battle is for our freedom. As Tremper Longman says, virtually every book of the Bible, Old and New Testaments, and almost every page tells us about God's warring activity. I wonder if the Egyptians who kept Israel under the whip would describe Yahweh as a really nice guy. Plagues, pestilence, the death of every firstborn. That doesn't seem very gentlemanly now, does it? What would Miss Manners have to say about taking the promised land? Does wholesale slaughter fit under calling on your new neighbors? You remember that wild man Samson. He's got a pretty impressive masculine resume. Killed a lion with his bare hands, pummeled and stripped 30 Philistines when they used his wife against him, and finally, after they burned her to death, he killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. Not a guy to mess with. But did you notice all those events happened when the Spirit of the Lord came upon him? Judges 15-14. Now, let me make one thing clear. I am not advocating a sort of macho man image. I'm not suggesting we all head off to the gym and then to the beach to kick sand in the faces of wimpy Pharisees. I am attempting to rescue us from a very, very mistaken image we have of God, especially of Jesus, and therefore of men as his image bearers. Dorothy Sayers wrote that the church has very efficiently pared the claws of the Lion of Judah, making him a fitting household pet for pale curates and pious old ladies. Is that the God you find in the Bible? To Job, who has questioned God's strength, he replies, "Do you give the horse his strength, or clothe his neck with a flowing mane? Do you make him leap like a locust, striking terror with his proud snorting? He paws fiercely, rejoicing in his strength, and charges into the fray. He laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. He does not shy away from the sword. The quiver rattles against his side, along with the flashing spear and lance. In frenzied excitement he eats up the ground. He cannot stand still when the trumpet sounds. At the blast of the trumpet he snorts, 'Aha!' He catches the scent of battle from afar, the shout of commanders and the battle cry." Job 39:19-25. The war horse, the stallion, embodies the fierce heart of his maker, and so do we. Every man is a stem of that victorious stock, or at least he was originally. You can tell what kind of man you've got simply by noting the impact he has on you. Does he make you bored? Does he scare you with his nocturnal nasism? Does he make you want to scream because he's just so nice? In the Garden of Gethsemane, in the dead of night, a mob of thugs carrying torches, lanterns, and weapons comes to take Christ away. Note the cowardice of it. Why didn't they take him during the light of day, down in the town? Does Jesus shrink back in fear? No, he goes to face them head on.